A new decision by a school board in Mississippi has now triggered this racially charged controversy in a little community there. The district's first ever black superintendent was recently put on leave less than a year after she was hired. Dr. Kenitra Easy says she was trying to make the district's only predominantly black school equal to the district's predominantly white school. NBC's Antonia Hilton traveled to the community and joins me now with her exclusive reporting. Antonia, good to see you. Talk us through what's going on here.
Hey, Hallie. Dr. Kenitra Easy started her job back in the summer of 2021, and she told me that almost immediately she realized that this was an incredibly divided community. One school that was majority white, one school that's majority black, and that the black school had all the remedial programming. It had a gym that hadn't had AC for almost 7 years, while the white school had much better facilities and it had all of the gifted and talented programming. Dr. Easy says she tried to do something about that, and now black students, colleagues, and Dr. Easy are saying that she's been targeted for it. Take a look at her story.
Nadesha Jones is a straight-A student at Mississippi's Bay Springs High. Lately, she and her friends have become activists, questioning the school board's decision to place their district's first black superintendent, Dr. Kenitra Easy, on leave less than a year after she was hired.
The only thing that was ever surprising to me was the fact that we ever got a black superintendent that brung out all the disparities, all the discrimination that has been going on.
Was it important to black students to see the first ever black superintendent?
Yes, it was very.
According to Dr. Easy, trouble began soon after she took the reins of the rural Mississippi school district. She describes as separate but unequal. The district's gifted and talented programming is at the predominantly white Stringer K-12 campus. The remedial programming at predominantly black Bay Springs schools.
Students at Bay Springs would take drug education, whereas students at Stringer would take theater.
And Dr. Easy was concerned about the condition of Bay Springs facilities. There was no AC in the school's gym for almost 7 years. Dr. Easy says she wanted to make Bay Springs equal to Stringer in building and program quality. She proposed placing a new district-wide pre-K program in Bay Springs. Stringer parents objected, calling the 10 to 20-minute drive too far. One parent sent Dr. Easy an anonymous letter.
The parent told me that I was being watched very, very closely, that I had no right to try to make changes.
When you look back at that letter now, was it prophetic?
It was absolutely. When I was hired, I was told, don't poke the bear. In Stringer, leave Stringer alone.
Then, on March 3rd, the school board called a special meeting. Multiple white employees spoke out against Dr. Easy, some saying she'd created a hostile work environment. Black employees spoke in her support.
Is this about race?
I didn't want this to be about race, but the facts are about 20 white employees came forth with concerns about the first black superintendent in the district.
The board voted to place Dr. Easy on paid leave pending termination. She says within minutes her email was deactivated, and the next morning her office had new locks.
Hi, my name is Antonia Hilton. I'm with NBC News.
NBC News placed numerous calls and emails to district and state officials. All refused to provide any comment for our story. One Stringer parent spoke to us outside the local post office.
Are you at all surprised that it looks like she's losing her job less than a year into it?
Yeah, and I think she was causing, it seemed like from what I hear, is causing problems as soon as she come into it.
Do you think this would be happening if she were a white man?
No, I don't know. I think they need to get off the racism thing, just get along and do your job.
Dr. Easy is still waiting for a hearing. She's been replaced by a white acting superintendent. Student activist Nadesha still hopes Dr. Easy will be reinstated, but with every passing week, doubts grow.
We have to fight so the people that come after us don't have to go through the same thing we're going through.
Hallie, Dr. Easy is not only waiting for a hearing, but she told us that she still has not received a letter or an email outlining exactly why the district is actually moving toward firing her. So she feels right now like she's completely in the dark. Not only that, but she says that she's been experiencing some hostility in the community, that she went to a recent baseball game and was asked by the Stringer principal to leave part of the premises. And NBC News actually obtained video of this incident that just shows how much this tension has spilled over through the entire community. But now we're in the summer. She should be preparing for the next school year, and she still does not know about the status of her job, Hallie.
Antonio Hilton, thank you for shining a light on this story. I appreciate you staying on top of it, bringing us updates.